He who engares you conquers you. Elizabethan-era paraphrase often attributed to Epictetus. What if I told you that the secret to making people genuinely obsessed with you isn't charm, wealth, or even looks, but something far deeper, something most people completely overlook? Imagine walking into a room and instantly drawing attention, not by trying, not by performing, but by simply radiating a calm, unshakable presence. Sounds almost unreal, right? Yet, this is exactly what Stoic philosophy can teach you. In a world where everyone is desperate for validation, reacting impulsively or seeking approval constantly, there's an almost magical power in mastering your own mind first. People aren't obsessed with you because of what you say or do. They're drawn to the serenity, confidence, and mystery you naturally exude when you understand what truly matters and what doesn't. In this video, we're diving deep into the Stoic principles that allow you to cultivate this magnetic presence. Stick with me until the very end, because I'll reveal the ultimate Stoic hack that most people never discover. A single shift in mindset that will make people start noticing you in ways they can't even explain. By the time this video is over, you won't just understand the secret, you'll start living it. Number 1, master your emotions. Never let others see you flustered. Imagine holding complete command over your own mind, your own reactions, your very presence. That's the essence of emotional mastery, and it's the hidden key that makes people gravitate toward you, sometimes almost obsessively. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think about that. Every glance, every word, every moment of tension is an opportunity for you to demonstrate calm authority. When you never let others see you flustered, you're no longer a reactive participant in life. You become the quiet center that draws attention, subtly commanding respect and fascination without even trying. You might feel this is easier said than done, but the truth is, mastering your emotions is about training, not suppressing. It's about catching yourself in the act of reacting before the reaction controls you. The next time someone tries to provoke a response, a harsh comment, an unexpected challenge, pause, take a breath. Feel the surge of irritation, fear, or frustration, but don't act on it immediately. Label it internally. This is anger. This is impatience. By numbing the feeling without letting it dictate your behavior, you create space between stimulus and response. This space is your power. Reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. That's the core of Stoic emotional mastery. Strength isn't in exploding or overreacting. It's in standing firm while the world swirls around you. Here's an exercise to make this practical. Set aside a few minutes each day to mentally simulate stressful interactions. Imagine someone insulting you, challenging your opinions, or testing your patience. Visualize your initial reaction, the quick flinch, the urge to defend, the spike of frustration. Now practice stepping back. Breathe, settle, and respond with calmness, or even let the situation pass without response. The more you rehearse internally, the easier it becomes to do in real moments. You're training your mind to default to composed, measured reactions. Over time, this isn't just a mental trick, it becomes instinctive. People notice it, even if they can't articulate why. There's a magnetic quality to someone unshaken, someone whose inner calm never wavers. Another subtle but powerful technique is to consciously control your body language. Your posture, your facial expression, the way you hold your hands, your breath, they all communicate emotional state. Keep your movements deliberate, your gaze steady, your voice measured. Even under pressure, a calm exterior sends a silent message. You are unshakable. This is not arrogance. This is quiet authority. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." True bravery is freedom from being controlled by fleeting emotions, from being tossed around by other people's moods or provocations. When you achieve this, people instinctively respect you. They lean in, curious about the calm center they cannot disturb, drawn to the strength that seems effortless. Finally, make self-reflection a daily practice. Every evening, review moments where your emotions rose. How did you handle them? Did you pause, reflect, and respond, or did you react impulsively? Journal your observations, notice patterns, celebrate successes, and gently correct missteps. Over time, mastery isn't theoretical, it's tangible, woven into every interaction. People will start to sense it. They may not fully understand why, but they feel it. Your unflappability becomes magnetic. You're no longer reacting to the world. You're shaping how it perceives you, not through manipulation, but through the disciplined, quiet power of emotional control. Mastering your emotions isn't about perfection. It's about presence, awareness, and the relentless commitment to not let the external chaos dictate your inner peace. Take action today. The next time a provocation comes, pause, breathe, name the feeling, respond with calm authority. Each moment you do this, you strengthen your invisible armor and the world starts to notice. The Stoic secret isn't flashy, it's subtle but unstoppable. Your composed mind is your most compelling force. Number 2, speak less, listen more, create the power of intrigue. Imagine walking into a room and immediately commanding attention, not through loud words, flashy gestures, or desperate attempts to impress, but through an almost magnetic calmness, an understated presence that draws people in. This is the power of intrigue, and it starts with something deceptively simple, speaking less and listening more. As Epictetus wisely put it, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. The idea isn't to become silent or invisible. It's to create a presence that makes others lean in, curious, wanting to understand more about you. You cultivate a quiet authority that is irresistible, a subtle mastery that people can't help but notice. When you speak less, you force yourself to choose your words deliberately. Every statement becomes intentional, meaningful, and impactful. People notice this. They feel the weight of your attention and the thought behind each phrase. Your silence becomes your strength, a space where mystery breathes. The world is full of noise, chatter, and endless opinions. By refraining from joining the constant clamor, you immediately stand out. Reminds us, nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Listening more, observing, and reflecting allows you to cultivate that inner stillness. It radiates outward. Others sense it. They want to be near it. To practice this, start small. In your next conversation, challenge yourself to speak 30% less than usual. Let the other person fill the space. Ask open-ended questions and resist the urge to immediately respond. Pause. Let silence linger just long enough for curiosity to spark. When you do speak, make your words count. Share insight, wit, or perspective that can't be found in the surface chatter of everyday interactions. This creates a tension, a magnetism, because people instinctively notice someone who doesn't feel compelled to fill every void with noise. Listening is more than just hearing words. It's understanding the emotional rhythm of the conversation, noticing subtleties, and reflecting internally before responding. Each time you actively listen, you gather knowledge not only about others but also about yourself, your reactions, your judgments, your impulses. Seneca advised, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." By mastering the art of listening, you wield influence without raising your voice. You don't need to dominate the room with talk. The room begins to revolve around your calm, measured energy. People become intrigued because they sense depth, presence, and self-possession. You can also cultivate intrigue by resisting the urge to over-explain or overshare. There's a hidden allure in restraint. Not everything you know or feel needs to be revealed at once. Let people discover facets of you slowly, naturally. Every well-timed word, every deliberate silence, contributes to an aura of mystery that is compelling. You're not playing games. you're practicing a higher form of respect for both your own mind and the minds of others. By speaking less and listening more, you're telling people without saying it outright that your thoughts are valuable and that you choose carefully where, when, and how to invest them. Start exercising this today. In your next interaction, notice the urge to interrupt, to dominate the dialogue, to explain excessively. Restrain it. Breathe. Let the silence hold weight. Pay attention to the subtle shifts, the way people lean in, the way their energy changes, the questions they ask when you do finally speak. Over time, this deliberate restraint becomes second nature. Your presence will no longer depend on words or volume. It will depend on a quiet confidence and the magnetic pull of curiosity. You'll notice a transformation, not just in how others see you, but in how you see yourself. You begin to inhabit a calm, powerful center, and in doing so, you embody the Stoic ideal: mastery over your own impulses, clarity in your interactions, and the ability to inspire intrigue simply by being present. Number 3, be predictably unpredictable. Balance consistency with mystery. There's a fascinating tension in human connection that the Stoics understood deeply, even if they never framed it in exactly this way. To truly captivate others, to become someone they notice, remember, and can't quite stop thinking about, you have to master the art of being predictably unpredictable. It sounds like a paradox, and it is. But paradoxes often hold the most profound truths. Epictetus said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." The same principle applies here. You can't control how others perceive you entirely, but you can shape your presence in ways that make people lean in, curious and engaged. When you balance consistency with mystery, you create a rhythm people subconsciously crave, but with enough variation to keep them on their toes, intrigued, never fully certain of what's coming next. You see, predictability alone breeds boredom. If people can anticipate everything you'll say, do, or feel, your presence becomes comfortable but forgettable. On the other hand, complete unpredictability is chaotic. It unsettles and pushes others away. The real power lies in the balance. You want to be someone who is reliable, trustworthy, and steady, a rock in a storm. Yet every now and then, reveal a side of yourself that is unexpected, playful, or deeply insightful. These glimpses of unpredictability spark curiosity, stir intrigue, and create an almost magnetic pull. Imagine your actions, words, and moods as a melody. A melody with a consistent rhythm draws the listener in, but subtle shifts, unexpected notes, and occasional pauses make it unforgettable. Practically speaking, this starts with self-awareness and deliberate action. Begin by mapping out the aspects of yourself that are consistent: your values, routines, ways you handle stress, or the calm steadiness you show in conversation. These are your constants, the anchors that people can rely on. Then choose one or two areas where you allow for surprises. It could be a sudden insight you share, a humorous comment in a serious moment, or a thoughtful gesture that no one expected. These small, intentional deviations from the norm aren't manipulative, they're authentic. They signal depth, creativity, and presence. As reminds us, be not careless in deeds, nor confused in words, nor rambling in thought. In other words, unpredictability doesn't mean random chaos. It means precise, meaningful variation that keeps people engaged. One exercise you can try is to plan a week of intentional, subtle unpredictability. Every day, choose one interaction where you maintain your calm, consistent demeanor, but inject a small, unexpected twist. Observe the effect, not with anxiety, but with curiosity. Notice how people respond, how your presence feels, and how the tension between steadiness and surprise heightens attention. This builds a rhythm of intrigue without sacrificing your integrity or reliability. You're cultivating an aura that is dependable enough to trust, yet mysterious enough to fascinate. a combination that sticks in the minds of others long after interactions end. Remember, the goal isn't to manipulate or perform. The Stoic approach is rooted in self-mastery and authenticity. By being predictably unpredictable, you're training yourself to show up fully, thoughtfully, and deliberately, while also embracing the richness of spontaneity. You're signaling that you are grounded in your principles, yet flexible, dynamic, and alive. Over time, this balance becomes second nature, a magnetism that draws people toward you without effort or coercion. So start today. Notice where you are predictable, identify moments to sprinkle in intentional surprise, and practice this rhythm consistently. Step into this space where consistency meets mystery, and watch how your presence becomes not just noticed, but unforgettable. Number 4, focus on your values, not approval. Magnetize through authenticity. Imagine walking into a room and feeling completely at ease, not because everyone around you is watching or approving of your every move, but because you are rooted in something far stronger, your own values. That is the quiet magnetism the Stoics understood. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Now, take a moment to let that sink in. Your power isn't in bending yourself to win approval, to be liked, or to chase the fleeting applause of others. Your power is in being unshakably aligned with what you believe, what you stand for, and who you truly are. When you focus on living according to your values, something remarkable happens. People are drawn to you, not because you're performing, but because you are real, authentic, consistent. There's a rare allure in someone who doesn't waver in their principles, someone whose actions are a reflection of inner integrity rather than external validation. Here's the thing, chasing approval is exhausting. It's a treadmill that never stops. You change yourself to fit expectations, modify your words to match moods, tweak your behavior to win nods. And yet, the more you do that, the more hollow and restless you feel. The Stoics teach us to flip the script. Focus inward. Define the values that matter most to you: courage, honesty, patience, compassion, and then commit to embodying them in every interaction, every choice, every thought. Wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This isn't just philosophical rhetoric, it's a call to action. Stop seeking permission from the world to exist in your fullness. Start living it. A practical way to implement this is through a daily reflection exercise. Each morning, identify one value you want to express that day. Maybe it's patience when someone challenges you, or clarity in your communication, or integrity in a decision you face. Then, throughout the day, check in with yourself silently. Ask, am I acting from this value or from the desire to be approved? This simple practice retrains your mind. It trains you to act from authenticity, not from the shallow currents of external approval. Over time, your behavior naturally radiates strength, consistency, and depth. People sense it. There's an invisible energy that cannot be faked, and it captivates far more than charm or superficial charisma ever could. Another way to deepen this practice is to set boundaries around approval-seeking triggers. Notice when your heart tightens at criticism or your mind races to earn praise. Pause. Ask yourself, is this aligned with who I want to be, or am I chasing someone else's idea of me? Stoic philosophy reminds us that our judgments create our experience, not the opinions of others. By consistently returning to your own values as the compass, you develop an inner anchor that is magnetic precisely because it's unwavering. People are naturally drawn to clarity, to authenticity, to someone who isn't buffeted by every passing gust of opinion. And remember, this isn't about being rigid or unfeeling, it's about being deliberate. It's about cultivating a presence that speaks louder than words, a presence rooted in authenticity. Every choice you make, every word you speak, every act of alignment with your values reinforces a subtle but powerful allure. You don't need to try to impress. You need only to show up fully as yourself. This is the Stoic secret. Stop molding yourself to others' expectations. Start embodying your highest values, and watch how effortlessly people are drawn toward the confidence, consistency, and quiet strength that only authenticity can create. When you commit to this, something profound shifts. Approval loses its grip. People notice not because you're performing for them, but because you are fully present, fully grounded, fully yourself. And that presence, calm, confident, authentic, is irresistible. So today, take a step. Identify one value, act on it. Let your life, not your approval seeking, magnetize those around you. The power has always been within you, and the Stoics simply remind you where to focus. Number 5, radiate calm confidence. People are drawn to unshakable presence. Imagine walking into a room and feeling entirely untouchable, not in an arrogant way, but in a way that quietly commands respect. That's what radiating calm confidence feels like. It's magnetic, irresistible, and fundamentally Stoic. Said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. When you embody that mindset, when your center is unshakable no matter what is happening around you, people can't help but notice. They are drawn to your presence because it's rare. Most people are tossed around by emotions, reactions, and the chaotic energy of life. You, however, are steady. You are grounded, and that grounded energy, it's magnetic. Calm confidence isn't about pretending you're fearless or always in control. It's about mastering the inner dialogue that most people leave unattended. It's about observing your thoughts, emotions, and impulses, and choosing which ones deserve action and which ones pass quietly by. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Every time you pause before reacting, before snapping, panicking, or you're practicing presence, you're showing the world that nothing can destabilize you, and that steadiness is compelling. People instinctively gravitate towards someone who isn't a storm, but the calm in the eye of one. You can start cultivating this right now with small, deliberate practices. Begin by noticing the way you speak. Slow down, choose your words carefully. Let there be space in your conversations for silence. It's not empty, it's powerful. People fill silence with their curiosity, their attention. Notice your posture. Stand tall but not stiff. Sit relaxed but deliberate. Your body communicates far more than your words ever could. These micro-practices of calm, measured presence begin to rewire the way others perceive you, and more importantly, the way you perceive yourself. You start to feel solid from the inside out. The next step is internal. Every time a situation threatens to rattle you, pause, breathe, remind yourself, nothing outside has true power over me. This is more than a mantra, it's a daily exercise in building an unshakable center. Try this. For 1 minute each day, deliberately place yourself in a scenario, imagined or real, that would normally provoke anxiety, irritation, or self-doubt. Observe your reactions without judgment. Anchor yourself in calm, steady breathing. Notice the subtle shift as your presence grows. The more often you practice, the more natural it becomes. Soon, you won't have to think about it. Your calm confidence radiates automatically. And remember, confidence that attracts isn't loud or desperate. It's quiet, controlled, and intentional. It's the person who doesn't need to dominate a conversation to be remembered. It's the one who listens more than they speak, but when they do speak, every word lands. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Freedom here is freedom from inner chaos, freedom from the compulsion to prove yourself, freedom to simply be. That freedom is visible, it's palpable. It draws people because deep down, everyone craves that stability, that anchor, that sense of calm power in a turbulent world. So start today. Choose one area where you usually feel scattered or reactive and intentionally apply calm. Breathe, pause, speak slowly. Let your body relax into your stance. Your confidence will grow quietly but inexorably, and people will begin to take notice, not because you demand it, but because you emanate it. Remember, this isn't about performing or manipulating. It's about becoming the person who is unshakable from within. That unshakable presence, that quiet magnetism, is your Stoic secret. Step into it deliberately, practice it persistently, and watch as the world begins to orbit your calm, grounded energy. Remember, true influence isn't about forcing people to like you, it's about mastering yourself first. The Stoics knew this centuries ago. By controlling your emotions, speaking with purpose, and living with integrity, you naturally draw people in. What you cultivate within radiates outward, and that's what makes others gravitate toward you effortlessly. If you take just one thing away from this video, let it be this. Obsession isn't about charm or manipulation. It's about presence, calm confidence, and unwavering self-mastery. Practice it daily, and watch how people respond to the energy you radiate. Before you go, I want to challenge you. Pick one Stoic principle from today's video and apply it consciously over the next week. Notice the subtle shift in how others see you, and more importantly, how you see yourself. If you found value in this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another Stoic hack that can transform your life. And remember, the journey to mastery is ongoing, but every step you take makes you magnetic, not by chasing others, but by becoming your best self.